story this hour, at least 4 people, including a terrorist, have been killed after multiple attackers opened fire across various locations in Vienna. The Austrian government has described the incident as a well-planned and repulsive Islamist terror attack. In the latest, the country's interior ministry has confirmed that it was an Islamist terror attack. The ministry said that the attacker who was shot dead by the police was an ISIS sympathizer. At least one of the terrorists is still on the run. A massive manhunt has been launched in Vienna to nab the terrorist. Videos circulating on social media showed a terrorist shooting incessantly. Residents were being warned to stay away from the center of the city as authorities reinforced border checks. Special forces and SWAT have been stationed across the city. Austrian Chancellor Sebastian Kurz said that the army would protect sites in the capital so the police could focus on anti-terror operations. He added that it was a well-planned attack and that the terrorists were carrying automatic weapons. Meanwhile, Kurz also said that the motive behind the attack could be anti-Semitism. This, as all the 6 locations in the attack were near the street housing in the central synagogue.
Es ist natürlich eine sehr angespannte Sicherheitslage, insbesondere in der Bundeshauptstadt Wien. Es ist ein Täter ausgeschaltet worden, aber mehrere Täter anscheinend hier nach wie vor unterwegs. Die sind auch, so wie wir das derzeit verfolgen, sehr gut ausgerüstet, automatische Waffen, also sehr professionell vorbereitet. Es ist definitiv ein Terroranschlag. Es gibt mittlerweile 15 Opfer, die verwundet sind und derzeit in den Spitälern behandelt werden. Es gibt einen Polizisten, der angeschossen wurde, Gott sei Dank aber außer Lebensgefahr ist und insofern nach wie vor eine relativ unübersichtliche Situation.
And for more on this now, journalist Zamita Pressel is joining us live from Vienna. Thank you so much for joining us. At least 4 people, including a terrorist, have been killed, as you of course know, after multiple attackers opened fire. Could you begin by telling us about this incident?
Well, the shooting last night started around 8 p.m. It's been confirmed now in a press conference this morning that there was at least one perpetrator. The victims apparently have gun wounds and knife wounds, so those apparently were the weapons used. As we all know from the videos, the attackers were shooting using rifles. Yeah, there was a press conference this morning confirming that there have been several raids and arrests across Vienna. The details were scarce because obviously officials at this point don't want to give too many details on an ongoing investigation, so we don't know yet who exactly the perpetrator was,
Yes.
where he came from, how old he was, but we do know that most likely he was a supporter of the so-called Islamic State, and so there's an Islamistic, a radical Islamist motive for these attacks.
All right, so now it's being said that the army would protect the sites in the capital and the police is to focus on anti-terror operations. What other measures can we expect in the days to come?
Well, people have been asked to stay home today unless they have extremely important reasons for being outside. Any appointments that can be canceled and moved should be. And so I expect the next few days the population will be simply asked to remain home and remain in safety while officials try and figure out this whole situation. There's still a lot that we don't know.
Yes.
So I assume that's going to be what's going to happen in the next couple of days.
All right. Also, Chancellor Kurz has said that the motive behind the attack could be anti-Semitism. What do you think of its practical implications?
Well, it's difficult to speculate at this time because the only reason for the speculation is that the attacks happened near a synagogue. However, the attacks also happened in the very city center, so this would be the most obvious location for anyone planning a terrorist attack. So that's all we know at this point. We don't know if it was an anti-Semitic attack. If it was, of course, the implications, especially given Austria's history, would be huge. And I assume that politics would react by reinforcing sites that are particularly in danger in the city, reinforcing security there, and taking measures in that direction.
All right, Damita, thank you so much for joining us with all those inputs.